Hi guys, Jason Whistler here with Ninja Success. Now today, something I've been kind of tossing around in my mind a little bit. Actually, the last probably 2 weeks or so, off and on, been thinking about is, and I'll just throw the term right out there for you, right? So there's a psychological term called the sunk cost fallacy. Now, what this means and how it applies to our lives, and I'm sure you or someone you know has probably fallen prey to this. It is an error in logic. It's an error in thinking that seems to be hardwired into most of us. Now, in a nutshell, what it is anything that you have either made a commitment to or put time, put effort, put money into. At a certain point, there's a threshold of that level of investment, or that level of commitment, where our minds no longer want to back up, back out, give it up, change course, anything like that. Okay? So, dogs are here to say hi and enjoy the video also. So in this sunk cost fallacy, what happens is that we can get trapped. We can have spent so much time or spent so much money on something that we're unwilling now to see any other way to go other than forward. So it becomes like a blinder to all other options. No, I've put my money here. I've put so much time. I've put so much effort into this. This has been going on for so long. We have to make it work. There has to be, it has to be this way. Careful, guys. So you can see where that can be really problematic, right? Pardon me a minute. I gotta move some dogs. Out. Sometimes it's good to set clear boundaries. They were breaking the boundaries. So, you can see where the trap is with sunk cost fallacy. That it really does. It blinds us to things. I've fallen into this multiple times now. To some degree, a small amount of it is good, so we don't just give up on everything quickly. Okay? We made a commitment to something. We have an intent to do it. We've put some effort into it. We're going to keep pushing forward. But we have to temper that with an awareness of how far we've gone and whether or not we're still making progress. So we need to be tracking a long time. We need to have some goals or some metrics, something measurable that we can look at and say, all right, I was good, I was investing, we were doing good, we're making progress, and then everything kind of stopped. I keep investing, I keep working here, but it's not working. So continuing this path is probably not, it's not working. Okay? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results is the definition of insanity. It's a quote out there. I think it's fairly accurate. It gets repeated a lot. That doesn't mean it's accurate, but that lends some credibility to it. So if we're not tracking, if we don't have an awareness of where we were making progress, when we stopped making progress, and then how much time we spent, kind of spinning our wheels from that point, then you could, in theory, continue spinning your wheels indefinitely. That's part of how just being busy affects us in our work lives, our careers, our jobs, even in our family lives, where we're so busy being busy, we're not actually being productive anymore. We're not actually creating value or getting the value out of the activity. We're just caught up in that cycle of going around and around and around and around and around because Well, that's what we're supposed to do because we've always done it this way, because we have to do it this way, because this is the way. This is, you see where this is going, right? So this is a huge block and a huge hurdle that we have to pay attention to. The easiest way to help us identify and unhook that is with some kind of measurable progress. So if you're not sure, if you're at a point where, man, I think I just need to push a little bit further, it's time to start tracking. Okay? It's time to look back at where you started and where you're at and what you've accomplished so far, and take a true assessment of, okay, did I implement everything I needed to implement up to this point? Did I miss a piece? Go back and work on your fundamentals, your foundational skills. Or is it truly that this particular path just hits a dead end, and from this point on I'm wasting resources? So we need to be really honest with ourselves. And sometimes it's, we made a bad choice here, and from this point on, the best we're going to get out of it is a learning experience. Okay? What did you learn? How can you prevent this mistake in the future? How can this mistake actually help you going forward? But that also means we stop doing this. Right? We take this chunk, we accept it as an expensive lesson, park it away somewhere, and pick a new path. So often you'll find this in the entrepreneurial world as a pivot. Right? This is one of the buzzwords, a pivot. It just means that you were following a certain path, which looked like the right path for a certain period of time, and then you realized that this is not the right direction, and frequently it's described as like doing a 180, turning completely around and going the other direction. Pivots don't have to be that hard. They can be in any other direction. The idea is to be continually looking at your map, your plan for progress, where you started, where you're heading, and then tracking your course so you can make course adjustments along the way. So I hope that gives you a little bit of food for thought, this idea of a sunk cost fallacy. I don't want to run too long on this one. There's a little bit more I can go into tomorrow, where sunk cost and the way it works in our minds actually gets used against us, and where to pay attention to that so that it's not used against us by, certain sales tactics and manipulative strategies. So until then, best of luck with chewing on that. And remember, Success Ninjas never quit. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.